Hi everyone, welcome to our fourth Innobooster session. And today we again meeting brilliant Marina Marynkevich and continue our talk on marketing, messaging, communication, and how to conquer the world. So Marina, the floor is yours, please. Now we are ready to hear about your intense lecture.
Super intense, a 3-in-1. It's actually a 3-in-1 today, but I had to squeeze it. So get ready. So I'm going to share my screen right now. Okay, and to play, not play from the start. Sorry, play from the current slide. So last lecture, we reviewed some competitive research. And also we kind of started from the basic of the marketing, about the marketing cycle. I probably changed this. So is it annoying, the background noise? Not? No? Okay.
It seems to be that there is some echo in microphone, you know, a little bit.
It shouldn't be. It's just the earphones. So just in case, I may try to reconnect, but if it's fine so far, we can continue.
Okay.
So last lecture, we talked about the structure of what is marketing and actually the promotion. What normally people understand under the term marketing is the promotion itself, yeah. But marketing has much wider interpretation, and mostly we start from the head. From the head, it's what is our product and where is our place on the market, yeah. So let's get. Did everybody hear about 4P, 5P, 7P in marketing? This is like the basic terminology, like vocabulary. And so 4P, this is our head. Let's say this is our product. It's what we start from, our product or service or whatever, yeah? So 4P consists of product itself or service, let's say, price, place, and promotion. So basically, what we're gonna sell, at what price we're gonna sell, where we're gonna sell, and how we're gonna get people know about that, yeah. And the whole promotion itself then consists from promo mix, as I mentioned, that was the task for today, the promo mix and promo tools. Basically, so advertising, direct marketing, public relations, whatever the tools are. So, but first of all, we need to be sure that our 4P mix is correct, that our product is in the market, that our product fits the customer needs, that our product is at a relevant price, not too expensive, not too low, and that our product is kind of the place where we sell it, or the market, or the country where we're entering, yeah, on the market. It's kind of has the market potential for our product. And then only then we start to promote it, yeah. A brief example how marketing mix looks like, yeah. There are a lot of different marketing tools. Most of them you know, and there are also different terms with those marketing tools. So sometimes we can say the same things under different names, like for instance, target ads, or like Facebook or Instagram ads, or PPC campaigns. That is basically the same. But PPC campaigns can be in Google AdWords, can be on Facebook or on Insta, or can be using some partner, let's say, networks as well. So when you talk with contractors, when you talk with partners, just be sure that you understand the terminology and terms you're using and the meaning of those terms. So I took some of the general, let's say, naming of the marketing tools here. So it's basically advertising, it's public relations, PR, it's direct marketing, direct sales, direct mailing, whatever. It's sales promotion, it's event marketing. Event marketing, sometimes it's considered to be a part of PR, sometimes not, yeah. Digital marketing, which digital marketing itself could also have PR and advertising tools, yeah. Personal selling. So this is just an example. Let's go further. Here's also a brief example how a promo mix can look like, yeah. So here, this is a biotech startup. It still exists. It's doing well, and there are different target audiences, and there are splits of promo activity, like direct, mainly the support of direct sales because it's a B2B business. Then fundraising support in terms of marketing tools, and then PR and search engine marketing. Search engine marketing, I use this term because it's both search engine reputation management, search engine optimization, and search engine promotion. Yeah, so and here are some tools. This is just an example. For this promo mix, I've divided it into the target audiences as well. So these promo tools work for all target audiences. These promo tools work only for this mainly 2 target audiences. Yeah. So how we start to build our promo mix? First of all, we need to identify our target audience. Yeah. So it's also called sometimes client portrait, ICP, like ideal client portrait. Yeah. A client portrait, but mostly the name is target audience. Mostly everybody understands, yeah. And the target audience consists of demographics like gender, age, income, geography, education, needs, preferences, interests, and sometimes we can identify the core of the audience. Like for instance, we have target audience like male, 25-45, but the core is like 30-35, let's say, and IT guys, yeah. So sometimes within the target audience, we'll also identify the core. And here's an example. This is how we identify the target audience for the singer. So it's particularly music listeners. I mean, we're all music listeners, but music listeners of folk, tropical house, electronic dance music particularly. Yeah, not other genders. And so also the target audience is media, as always, when we work with journalists, influencers, and so on and so forth, and industry professionals. Yeah, age 16-30, the target audience, and the focus was on Europe at that time. Yeah, so this is just an example. Also, we need to understand the interests and everything regarding their behavior, their interests, what they like, because when we're doing collabs, we can understand where they go, what platforms they kind of attend, and that will help us to meet them there with their needs as well. So we do some kind of research. Here's also an example of how we can split the target audience. This is an example of a B2B company, yeah? So these are partners. These are customers directly who actually order the services and pay for the services. Again, media is always a target audience, and I treat it as a bit a separate target audience. And investors, I also identify them normally as a separate target audience. Let's move further. So here's another example of promo mix. It was made for LG Electronics long ago. I just took it here as an example. So because LG Electronics is like a big corporation, like one of the global leaders, they use a lot of, they have a lot of marketing budgets, and they use a lot of aggressive advertising, a lot of advertising ATL, but we're gonna speak further. So this is only from a mix for digital promotion, only for digital promotion. And it splits into display media, which is banners. Like we split differently. We differentiated the Google promotion in Google, then SEO optimization, like optimization in the search of Google, digital merchandising, because there were marketplaces and platforms, and so you can do also some kind of promotion there. For instance, on Amazon, you can always be promoted somewhere to get the highest rank, like on Booking.com and etc. Yeah. So Guerrilla or positive word of mouth builds up. These are all comments, and normally when you go to any digital platform and consider any e-commerce product for buying, you always read the reviews. So most of the companies, of course, they work on those reviews, and sometimes the competitors also work on negative reviews. So this is like a separate direction. Website is a tool, and of course, social media. And also, what's interesting about this promo mix, because it's the promo tools are differentiated according to the brand funnel stage. So here we have promo tools and target audience split, and here we have promo tools and brand funnel split. So these promo tools work on awareness, and these promo tools work on loyalty, and these are in between for consideration and purchase. Yeah. So when we have important information, when we have a limited marketing budget, we always cut the awareness, but we leave the consideration and purchase tools and loyalty. So mainly we focus on customer retention, cross sales, and purchasing. Another example of promo mix for social media. So this is only for social media. We have KPIs. We have splits on different social media channels, and we have timeline and actually how it's mixed from paid reach and organic reach. Yeah. Another promo mix with competitor research. So here are also tools, and here's also the, let's say, the classification. The red means it's not much used, yellow means it's so used, and green means like it's widely used. So here was the company and the competitors. Actually, it was LG Electronics in 2012. So this is from that time I have that chart. So we developed this rating system, and we developed KPIs also under that rating system. So when we create our promo mix, we can clearly understand the budget. So we understand, okay, we need this number of tools. We understand the cost of those tools, and we, like normally when you speak with marketing promotion agencies or whoever who is going to promote you, the first question is the budget. What's the budget? And the first question from mainly I get from business owners is like, how can I identify the proper budget? It's like not to be too much, not to be too little. So, and in this case, a normal answer, okay, you need to build a marketing strategy. After you elaborate the tools, you make the action plan, the detailed one of the promotion, and then you can kind of calculate the budget. And sometimes you can calculate the budget from, if you're working like, let's say, in e-commerce, B2C, you can calculate when you have, when you did the research and benchmarking, you know, the customer acquisition cost of your competitors. So for instance, the customer acquisition cost is like $30. So, okay, and you understand that if I need 100 sales, I need probably $300 of budget for those 100 sales, plus developing the website, plus developing brand book, blah, 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 etc. Yeah. So this is one of the ways also how you can calculate the budget. But we can talk about that a bit further because I have the slides of marketing strategy as well. So we sent some home task with Elena, and I'm wondering who would like to showcase the promo mix, who prepares something, and we can discuss.
I don't do as like promo mix, yeah, because I really see it the first time. Such we do it in when create the strategy, for example, the business model. We understand which channel we can use, but for budget now we only build this strategy because when we work in Ukrainian market is the one way. Now we check the worldwide activity, understand that we know that we are really don't know everything. Because, for example, in United States, it's biggest social media Reddit. Not maybe biggest, but it is very interesting for advertisement because for similar web, we find that 1 hour competitors use only this channel for advertisement, and they really sell a lot. And we understand now that we should the first time involve in this topic, check everything and build our budget, not as like you tell that we can create and understand each of channel. Now we, most of them, we know that the cost of one customers, not know, but we plan the cost of our one customer, and we know how to how many pieces we want to sell in this month, for example, and we build the budget for this way. Use the different tools and check these channels for activities.
Okay, let's then. I see somebody, Vladimir, wants to tell something, but maybe we can finish with Alexandra showcasing, and then I can give you the floor. Okay. Okay. So, Alexandra, let's start with remind me in one phrase what's your business about?
We in Ukraine we have a manufacturer standing desk, and now we have a new project, a platform for rehabilitation, Achilles tendon and to stretch muscles, reduce the back pain. It platform help not only in Achilles and to reduce the back pain for office workers. This platform is the first dynamic platform for Achilles on the world. And we want to make it new iteration with mobile application as like rehabilitologist on your hand, yeah, in mobile application.
So is it hardware, software, or IoT, or it's on
the most part it's hardware with some part of software product. And now we want to develop this product and complete our both products, the standing desk for some desire completion and new iteration for people with disability, and our platform with mobile application and etc.
So is the product on go-to-market stage right now or not yet?
Yes, we have a first iteration which we can sell, and next week we will start the selling because we only open the manufacturer in Poland for this new product, and next week we will start the marketing activities and check really our hypothesis right or not.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And then who is your target audience? Do you sell to medical institutions, mostly B2B, or do you sell directly to customers, or both B2B and B2C?
In the first part, we cannot cooperate with different medical as like public medical because we don't have a medical certification. But we can cooperate with private rehabilitologist center. We have already cooperated with 3 in Ukraine, and we get a good request about our platform. And now we are focused for 2 direct. The first is distributor for orthopedic and rehabilitologist item, and the next is B2C clients, the parents of children with club foot problem, the people who are really active and take part on marathons, on different activities, and the professional sportsmen who need really train every day their Achilles. And the last audience is office workers, because our platform help the first reduce back pain, because more of 800 million people have suffer of back pain on the world, and we can help them. And the next is that we can help solve the problem of sedentary lifestyle, not only back. When you are working on this platform, your cardiovascular work in the right way, and it helps you to feel more healthy and to reduce the negative последствия.
Consequences, yeah, effect, whatever.
Yeah, of sedentary lifestyle. And now we are focused for B2B and B2C. B2B, it's LinkedIn, direct market, direct emails, the cold
phone calls, yeah.
Phone calls. Yeah. And the B2C, it will be through different social media and blog and influence marketing.
Yeah, for B2B, I would also add some event marketing, so that you should be highlighted or attend some events for networking, or the relevant events where your target audience is, those private clinics and stuff like this. And also, I would suggest for you, it's there is a marketing tool that we have trade marketing, we have consumer marketing. So remember, when you go to any trade center and you have some desk and promoters, and they're promoting some kind of like sampling, like trying sampling, yeah. So the same thing you can do for those guys. Like for instance, you have a famous sportsman, let's say Klitschko, Shevchenko, whoever, maybe not so famous, but at least having, I don't know, there are plenty of sportsmen in Europe in different kinds of sports. So you can kind of present them, and they in exchange that they gonna highlight your product. And then you can you can get the sales generated only from those influencers, let's say. And you also can refer that this guy is using our product and this like big name is using our product. So it's also built some PR around that. The thing is that according to my experience, sometimes the influencers give the sales, sometimes not. So it's kind of not 100% that you get the sales, but at least you get the information occasion for the PR and you get the name. Yeah, you can refer to them. So and
I think about our sportsmen. I will try because when try to cooperate with European footballists, they want really a lot of money. They don't want a platform. They want a really huge amount of, for cooperation. But we can really write Klitschko and Shevchenko and speak with them as a like Ukrainian company, yes, Lithuanian founders which create a new item on the world.
Yeah, and also you can also create a relevant topic event. You can be an organizer, invite speakers, and those speakers could be potentially your partners. And the visitors can be potentially your clients. So I would spend the marketing budget for that, and I think that would really boost the B2B sales. And regarding the B2C, my personal recommendation, because I'm right now also having like I'm helping one startup. It's an e-commerce startup, and they have the same structure. So they have B2B sales and B2C sales, and so B2C are not going as it was expected. And they are still trying to identify the reasons. We're still trying to get a work on the reason what's wrong with the product, or maybe something we need to elaborate, or maybe we need to reduce the price. So it's kind of complicated. And I already see that B2C channels are way too expensive, much more expensive, like this Google ads, like the cost of the customer is over 100. It's just not profitable. And we've been testing the campaigns for over 2 months. So this is a hard case. Maybe I had just, for my 15 years career, I had maybe up to 5 projects which were as difficult as this one. Yeah. So, and I would recommend start from B2B. You reduce the marketing costs. You spend less time on them, less budget than on all those Facebook ads and stuff like this. Then you need the e-commerce manager, and you need the support manager and stuff like this. So it's much more efficient to start from B2B, to kind of widen the cash flow, to attract, to raise more investments, because you have the revenues growing. And in this way, I'm sorry, somebody can switch off the microphone. Okay, perfect. So, and in this case, then you can slowly build up the B2C. But you won't have the situations that you are kind of outfunded. Because you don't know, right now you're experimenting, you don't know how the B2C is going to be. And also you don't know the cost of the channels. I'm sorry.
Слухай, там такі класні ті іграшки.
I'm sorry, I need to switch some extra microphone. Mute. Okay. So this is just a general recommendation for B2C. Of course, this is like more standard, like Google Ads. Let's say SEO optimization for the website, just to put the right keywords, to put right articles, at least that people can find you while doing the search. I would try some Google Ads, but again, for later. And I would probably try some influencers better on barter than on payable basis, but still. So influencers can also bring the B2C sales. Or you can also use some of the platforms and channels of your clients or partners, B2B partners. Like for instance, they have the website or whatever, and they just place your product, and you can instead of building that all for yourself by yourself, you can kind of negotiate placing in them, or consider some marketplace initially. Also, that will save you a lot of time and effort and human resources on building it by your own, and so you will get the speed.
Thank you so much. I'm right. Oh, recommendation.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And anybody else? I saw somebody was raising the hand for highlighting their promo mix or their story, their case. Oh, one moment. I see somebody's hand. Vladimir, okay. Vladimir. You're welcome.
Yeah, hello everybody. Just
Hello.
a moment. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So our
What's your
product is,
story? What's the problem? It's okay.
yeah, let's start from the very beginning. So our product is a hospital information system. So our client is private and government hospitals, and our system helps them to keep patient medical history in one place with a convenient form, and patient also have access to all this stuff. So we have a B2B model. We are going and sell our business to different hospitals, clinics. Usually it's a big one, so that's why it should be some maximum approach when you connect and discuss with them something, not just some online sales. So firstly, we are starting with calling them. It's just cold calls to identify some information, who is ready for discussion, who is not, to get the contact of a decision maker. After that, when we have that, we are starting with providing some presentation of our system. I cannot share screen. I have no access for that. So we sent a presentation of our system. They check it, they like it, they're ready to proceed further. After that, we go to the hospital. We provide a presentation of our system, shows the functionality, how it's going on. After that, we just follow up them when they will be ready to sign contract and start working, provide free trial period and start it working. Additionally, we also doing some digital marketing. Just to warm up everyone, we don't expect any sales from them, but just to be whole time on the front of their eyes. We are using different channels, and the main goal of our digital marketing is not just to do some advertise, but whole time to analyze that. So we have a plan when we will have a posting on a Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, in which day, in which time, what will be the format, what will be the topic. So whole time we are involved in directly working by, so we have planned for 2 months up front, what and when we will post. Additionally, whole time when we get some leads, we identify from where they were bought, how they provided to our system, what was positive impact of those promotion. Additionally, some pay activities, so to buy Google AdWords, Facebook promotion, etc., and whole time analyze what was suitable, what was not, and after that, someone. I will just make.
Let's
show you all the stuff, but I have no permissions to share on my screen. But maybe it can take much more time. So I think that it would be just.
It's just I think
the
input, the debriefing inputs is understandable. I just want to specify, so you're more like a classic B2B, like classical B2B sales, and also your software subscription based, software,
Yeah, each month's paying.
Yeah, perfect. And then when you mentioned the social media, so can you, if you heard previously what I was talking about, can you split your digital promotion activity into the tools which you're using, which you mentioned? So like CEO optimization, are you doing or not? And for your website,
Yeah, so it's linked to a website. It's our official page with different content that have some sales chapter on that. It's the main points. Additionally, there is some promo activities just to get the contacts of them, so they just fill in.
Which kind of direct ads, or promotional posts? Which kind of promotion?
Both direct and indirect.
Ads. So you're using ads, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and also, so I would suggest you split it into the tools. So for instance, you have CEO optimization. If you don't work with CEO team, then you can do at least the minimal package. So you can kind of adjust your website for CEO, like check the speed of the load, check the keywords, check in the content management system, how, like, if they have the keywords and how pictures are uploaded and how they are named and stuff like this. So like the basics for CEO for the website. And then regarding social media, if you have classic B2B, So normally social media shouldn't be the source of your clients, but maybe you've got some clients out of that. But the question is, did you get some clients, particularly from social media ads, from social media advertising?
Usually not. Usually it's just for warming up. But
Yeah,
some
that's what
clients
I
time to
thought.
time we get. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I would suggest you, like, for instance, you're reaching clients, but directly, like with the sales team, and they all visit the website because they check the website, who is there and what's going on. And so if you use the Facebook pixel for remarketing, you can just do promotional posts, but on the audience actually who already visited your website. So remarketing, retargeting posts, you can ads, you can have. This is kind of quite logical. And sometimes if you have like real subscribers, if you're not promoting buying subscribers, like let's say on Facebook or on Facebook, there is a tool that there are friends of those people who subscribe at you. So this can work as well as a good tool, but mostly use remarketing and retargeting. So when you catch your audience and you're kind of keeping them informed through social media channel, but particularly those people who visited your website. Because all those Facebook or Insta, let's say, targeting for interests or targeting for behavior, it kind of works like not very good, like from time to time. So sometimes it takes like a lot of tests, up to 40 tests, 50 tests, 60 tests of different target audience interest to hit the audience or like your audience. And for some businesses, it works great, for some businesses not. Because we cannot interfere, it's how Facebook identifies and segments the audience itself. Sometimes it's logical, sometimes it's not. So, and we cannot influence that. And okay, this is regarding the digital. And also be active on the client pages as well on behalf of your brand. So that also will kind of attract the attention, remind about the contracts and stuff like this. And about the B2B, so if you have a classic B2B, so you mostly need marketing for supporting the sales. So it's called sales support. So you should have a proper sales pack, one pager presentation, scripts like teasers, messages should be short, like the title of the email should be the way that it's gonna be opened, at least from curiosity or what. So mostly just the marketing role for classic B2B is just to support the sales. To use infographics, to use beautiful presentations, to create a very fancy one pager to get people interested. Yeah. So normally I use the structure like this. I use the teaser for the email. I use the link to one pager. And if people are interested, we kind of book the meeting and show the presentation. And the presentation itself is for sales. And also what I would suggest, do some involvement or engagements of the clients, like invite them as experts, invite them like we're building the research, want to invite you like on a payable basis, on a free basis, whatever. Want to invite you as a mentor. So people always like when they approach from the positions that they are experts and you need the expert's opinion or review or whatever on a payable or not payable basis. So that can work as well. If you have any other questions, you can ask. Okay, Vladimir, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anybody? Thank you. Anybody else would like to highlight? Oops. Do we have any questions here? Oh yeah. Okay. If wait to admit. If there are no
Hello.
cases for showcasing, yeah. Hi.
Maybe I
You
can.
want to share? You want to share your promo mix? Yay!
Yes, probably I can tell a little bit about my case. If you have the
Okay.
technology deep tech project, almost what we use till now, as we have several applications where we can integrate technology. Almost we use one-to-one meeting. Also, we use LinkedIn connection.
Mhm. Okay.
Some exhibition or trade show. Can you hear me well?
Yes. Yeah.
If you talk about the social media, if we almost use Facebook and LinkedIn, if we a deep tech project, and our potential partners, it's B2B manufacturers of different devices, different product in consumer electronics. Almost the marketing and promotion will be on the side of our partner, because we can promote our technology, but B2B partners will promote it to B2C clients, and that's why they could
That's why I save on marketing. Yeah.
Our technology to one
Does
moment.
anybody hear Ruslana well? Because I'm just wondering if my connection is bad or.
No, unfortunately, she has some problem with.
Okay. Yeah. Ruslana.
Can you hear me well?
Yeah, right now it's better. Yeah.
No, sorry for that. So, as we have a deep tech technology, and almost we could promote our solution when we integrate technology into the product directly. Let's say we are planning to collaborate with manufacturer of the consumer electronic devices that produce laptop, for example.
Okay.
And I suppose that most part of marketing and promotion budget will be on the side of the partner,
For
because
sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, but
yes,
not for you. They gonna actually promote their product and they're gonna just integrate their technology to create their product. Yes.
yes,
So they're not gonna to promote you. It's like your looks like you also have the classical B2B structure, and that means that that's probably the same advice which you gave to Vladimir. And so the only difference is that so your target audience is consumer electronic manufacturers. Yeah.
Not only, it could be
Not only.
in mobility market, also the manufacturers of the EVs or active implantable devices. That is application for our technology, different application in different industries, or warehousing robots, So, but
Mhm.
almost our big job will relate to customer acquisition budget. It's almost to find the right partner for the collaboration, and to start the pilot project, integrate technology into the existing product. And after that, when it will be the solution, I suppose our partners will do another job concerning the promotion, the solution with our technology.
And when you reach them on LinkedIn, which job or positions are you reaching?
It's almost
communicate?
depends. Concerning companies, because sometimes what I met, it almost it could be, for example, Department of Innovation, and I can connect in innovation manager, or let's
Mhm.
say if you talk about CTO of the company, who responsible for the technology department, or someone as you also recommend concerning make the solution concerning buying the technology, and but if you have a deep tech project, it's almost innovation managers in the company plays a key roles, because they are looking for more intelligent and more competitive technologies, and I
Mhm.
try to connect them via LinkedIn. And also when we participate some trade show exhibition, or let's say if I participate also acceleration program, because acceleration program or incubation, they have also possibility to open door to such companies for to key opinion leaders with whom
Mhm.
I can collaborate, and to receive more information about needs, expectation, and how we can be helpful in such situation, you know.
So I see that you mostly hit on big enterprises, correct? Like big companies,
Yes.
big enterprises. Yeah, in this case also it's kind of, it has the difficulty, it's difficult to reach to them because they have all these long cycles, procedures, like communication procedures, improvements. So normally, as far as I know, it takes sometimes up to 6 months to integrate to one corporation. Sometimes even 6 months, 1 year, or 3 months. This is the shortest, up to 1 year. And in this case, there is also one trick you can use as well. Maybe you heard about that, maybe not. So when you can kind of invite somebody from that big corporation to join the advisory board, that somebody should have the lobby effect on getting the contracts for you. So
Yeah.
it could be actually the ex-CEO of that company, so to avoid the conflict of interest and so on and so forth. But mostly what I saw in startups and a lot of American startups, they're kind of using it openly. It's like, we have the CEO of this company, it's our advisory board, and we're going to sign the deal with them. So it's kind of open. It looks like there's no conflict of interest because he is in the position of an advisory board. He gets some option pull out of that. Yeah. So, but whatever, you can just think over. This is one of the ways how to approach the potential contracts with big corporations. And also regarding your experience on LinkedIn, when you reach them, what's, let's say, the ratio of the success rate? So you reach like 100 contacts, and what's the success rate of people answered to you and you started to communicate?
Actually, on my based on my experience, I connect, let's say, for example, companies, because sometimes companies promote some like innovation, and after that I try to find someone who likes the publication, and I screen, analyze their roles, and also I try to find the right person, for example, with whom I can start the conversation, and I just recommend, ask about the recommendation or some reference to the right person with whom I can collaborate in accordance with my task, you know. So that's almost what I receive was, I need to tell that it was successful, because it was also such collaboration with Biotronic, when I try to find the right person, and he recommend who could be responsible for such task, and we organize a meeting with such a team, and I need to tell that it was successful. For me, it was successful.
So you cannot calculate just an average the success rate. You reach, like, let's say 100 people, how many people like turns into successful communication?
Almost, you know, it was necessary to find the right person who knows the structure of the company, and who can give me the reference to the right person for the communication. But
like this.
yeah,
Like this.
but I can also share one experience that it was really successful for me when I was in South Korea, and it was necessary to start the collaboration with LG. One important thing that I did, I connect Ukrainian embassy and Polish embassy. I arranged meeting with them, and I did ask about the possible collaboration with big companies, and it was good, because they already have established a relation, and they provide me with the contacts, the right person at the beginning, and it takes 6 months to receive the proposal to start a pilot project with them. But definitely it's much easiest when you have the right contact or right person in the company.
Even when you have the intro also, it helps a lot.
Yes, and And if you have definitely as a possibility to receive such reference from embassy, you know, so it was really nice because we were successful with such communication, because LinkedIn sometimes people don't know us and almost some story about our project can prove some reputation of the startup. But if we met people, we have like one-to-one conversation and they know who we are, I suppose it much easiest way and much how to say fast way to get the result.
Yeah, and also I can tell you one more trick. Maybe you know it or maybe not. So let's say there are startups who are doing who are not your competitors, and they also work for LTE, for big corporations and enterprises. You can just discuss the partnership with them or discuss the sales interest or intro. So they're just doing the intro because they already got some pilots in some corporations. So when they do the intro and recommend, you just get directly to the email of the decision maker. And that speeds up the process. So you can either kind of exchange the interest with them, or you can kind of pay for the intro, a percent from the sales. So that could be the case also as well. No, the
Thank you so much.
founders are normally busy, but let's say they can assign their sales directors for that, and it's not difficult to just it would take just one day to make a couple of intros.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Anybody else, or we're moving on to some marketing tools, advertising tools? Okay, I think it's time to move on further for the slides. So we mentioned the brand funnel today. It's both B2C and B2B, but mostly the funnel like this looks like more like a B2C funnel. So there are different classifications of those funnels as well. So first of all, you build the awareness, then you need to trigger the interest. Then normally it's like awareness, consideration, purchase, or awareness, consideration, preference. Then comes loyalty. Yeah. So this one is awareness, interest, or consideration, or interest before the consideration, like intent, evaluation, purchase. So this is like a longer funnel. And here also they have the split between marketing tools and sales, particularly, yeah, which is an interesting. Another example of marketing funnels is like this, yeah. So it's also conversion. Actually, here is the purchase and customer relationship, and they also emphasize on customer retention. So customer retention is the increase of the existing check for the services or for the products, revenues from the product, or also cross sales here. That's why they have in this figure, when they have customer relationship and retention, it kind of widens. So it's not ends like a funnel, but it widens. It means if we work properly with customer relations, with cross sales, with increasing of the average check, the subscription plan, so we're on the way to success. And actually, it was calculated long ago that just properly working with your existing clients, like doing cross sales, doing integration, doing whatever, like selling more services to the same client, is much more efficient, like budget efficient, than attracting a new client. And with my observations, the most of the companies, they're just running like new clients, and they kind of not paid much attention to really working good with the existing clients and to increase the revenues from that existing client particularly. So also this is the digital marketing funnel, like awareness, lead generation, nurture, convert. Convert means to buy, yeah. So for your attention, so here's also one of the classic funnels, like awareness, familiarity, consideration, purchase, or preference, and loyalty, yeah. And what I would like to highlight about the current trends in marketing. So right now we are working we're working mostly in general on the markets of, let's say it's economy retention, like there's like a slide, economy recession markets, yeah? So that means the consumer purchase opportunity, it kind of went down a bit currently because of this kind of crisis. It's not like a sharp crisis, but we have like this economic decrease and everything. So in this case, it's really hard to operate. It's more difficult marketing conditions we're entering for running the business right now. So that's why pay attention to less costly and more efficient tools. Like for instance, when you're doing the partnerships, when you're doing collabs, so you can get the most efficient channel and channel efficiency / price result. So that's why collabs are always good. Any kind of partnerships are always good, and it's one of the most, the cheapest actual advertising tool as well. So some classic tools have been back, like Direct. When Google appeared, a lot of people just tried the new tool, but then it began the reverse process when people got back to just direct messaging, direct calls, and stuff like this. And events still one of the most efficient promotion tools, both for B2B mostly, B2C as well, but mostly B2B. And for B2C, it's like should be like big events. And social media right now are hard. They are difficult. I would like to have a separate lecture about social media because I have a lot to tell and a lot of things which I kind of work again, the stereotypes, the common stereotypes of how social media should work. Like for instance, Facebook fraud. Like for instance, why it's not efficient to buy followers on Facebook. How social media work, like is social media when it's on the rise, on the growth, it has a lot of organic reach, but when it's kind of mature, it's all of them start to reduce organic reach, and for all reach you have to pay. So in most of cases, people overestimate the role of social media. And if we like calculate, I like to treat the marketing from the perspective of Pareto principle. So 20% of efforts give 80% of results. And social media is normally works vice versa. Not for all businesses, but in general right now. So it requires 80% of efforts and brings only 20% of results. So that's why it should be considered in the marketing mix, and be careful with that channel and don't overspend there, both time and budget. And this is like a very important information you need to know, like about the marketing basis, marketing key terms like ATL and BTL. So where did it appear? So it appeared long ago. Like ATL is like above the line, and BTL is like below the line. And ATL, it's again, it's big media channels like TV, radio, billboards, and BTL, it's something which is more suitable for startups and more suitable for small and medium businesses. So it's all channels which doesn't have the mass distribution, yeah. Let's say events, this is mostly BTL, unless it's not big events like direct marketing, direct sales, it's BTL. Like just posting on Facebook, it's BTL, but massive Facebook advertising ads, it's ATL, let's say. The same with LinkedIn. And media, it's the same. If we have like a big campaign in media, this is more like ATL, but if we have just a couple of articles, it's BTL. TVs, for small and medium businesses, it's not profitable. It's too expensive to advertise on TV because they have like more narrow target audience, and TV or radio, that they hit a wider target audience, unless this is just a very specific radio or very specific podcast for, let's say, medical experts. So in this case, this is like BTL then. So again, like BTL, but below the lines, it's sales promotion, trade promotion, guerrilla marketing, point of sales materials like sampling, the same, special events, direct marketing, direct mailing, trade marketing. Let's guess a little bit. Is it which kind of marketing tool is that, and is it ATL or BTL? Somebody would like to guess? Which kind of, yeah, marketing tool? Yes.
No,
Like
you
you see some, like, is it ATL or BTL, and which type of marketing tool is that?
I think that it is BTL.
It's kind of outdoor advertising, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some type of outdoor advertising. So if we do a massive outdoor advertising like this in the city, it's ATL. And if we place it, let's assume this is the business center, and we place this advertising just in front of the business center, this is like more like could be treated as BTL. Yeah. And in this case, is it ATL or BTL? And which kind of marketing tool is that? So it's sampling or consumer promotion? Consumer promotion or sampling?
It's consumer promotion, I think.
Yeah, or sampling. It can be both ways. And it's ATL, BTL. When we got, it's BTL, because when we got sampling, it means we're not working on the awareness, but we're working mostly on consideration, preference, trial already. So it's like more BTL, because you can put those promotional, let's say, points specifically in some certain places. Like so, and the same you can do your sampling with your platforms, yeah, or showroom or whatever, and it's BTL. Yeah. Again, this is more like an ATL of BTL tool.
It's not. It's
yeah.
like vitrina, yeah. It's like demonstrating.
Yeah.
That, maybe it's ATM that.
No, it's again BTL because it's trade marketing, and it's they have like a special points of sales promotion. It also can be called points of sales promotion, and it's targeted at some certain area. So it's either in some certain shop or at some certain exhibition and stuff like this. So the target audience is a bit narrowed here. Yeah. Events, is it ATL or BTL?
Maybe it's ATL.
No, it's BTL again, because events are also BTL. Unless this is like a massive event, like 1 million people, yeah, or I don't know, like 100, 200 of people, 200,000 of people, yeah. So because events normally up to 1,000 of people, 50, 100, up to 1,000, and these people are very. Also, this is like a narrow target audience, because there is a topic of the event, and these people are gathered particularly around this topic. You know? So you don't overspend the budget here.
But if this event will be more huge, maybe it will be ATM.
Like big concerts of festivals that were big brands actually promoting, such like Coca-Cola and mobile operators. So that can be ATL then. But normal events like all these master classes, workshops, I don't know, opening of a new restaurant, this is like BTL.
Okay.
This is like the direct mailing. Is it ATL or BTL?
BTL.
Yeah, yay. So because we have very narrow target audience here, and specifically particular people we're gonna send it. Outdoor, we discussed already.
Yeah. Outdoor.
Yeah, I actually had an interesting experience when I was a marketing director of the bank, and we were at the bank of the 4th group, so we were like on the 60th place. It was actually Tascom Bank when I was there. They were on the 60th place at that time, so not the biggest top 5 banks. And there was a stereotype like, let's advertise our financial services. Let's make some advertising. Let's put some billboards. And I'm like, hey, billboards are not your tool. your financial services, like you need to work on with recommendations, your traditional channels are brand and PR and direct. That's all. But what advertising? Like, no, we want the billboards. Like, okay, let's make. I said, like, okay, let's put the billboards at least close to where the bank branches were, like particularly near the bank branch. So we used both advertising, let's say, informing about the bank services, and at the same time, I used it as navigation because some of the bank branches were just behind the corners, not on the main street. So I used one part of billboard for announcing the financial service, like free credits or credits 5%. Yeah, let's say. And then the bottom was with the arrow. So like the address of the branch and the arrow. So we use them both for advertising and for navigation. And when I introduced the fish, like I introduced in the, banks, they have very upgraded CRMs. So when they bring the new clients, and I put an obligatory field at the CRM, like how did you know about us? And I allowed them to choose at least a couple of channels, like media, like recommendation, like I saw the billboards, whatever. So only 5% of people mentioned that billboard in that feedback. So it's again what I was trying to tell to the board. They didn't believe me. So they said, okay, we're putting the boards, and then in the results, it was the proof that it was actually correct, because this tool, ATL, could be used for the banks like top 5 banks, top 10 banks, but not for small banks like top 60, top 70, top 55, So this is like a bright example of how of the tools as well. So also some highlights. Let me see. I have the battery low. Let me just check if I need the charger. I'm sorry. Okay, it's still 10%. It's fine. A moment. Here are some interesting insights about social media as well. So when we look at some influencers, especially when you're gonna work with influencers, or we're looking at some companies' brand pages, like 90% of them are just buy followers. Like I know it's my personal expertise for 15 years for operating over 5 or 6 million budgets, over 800 campaigns, and so on and so forth. And here's a showcase about Avicii. I just accidentally caught him on buying followers. So that was the print screen from July 2014. And in just 1 month, like he had 136 followers, and just in 1 month, he got 17.9 million, almost 18 million. So, and I calculated the price of the budget it costed him to get those followers. So if he bought them from Facebook, not from gray service providers, so it would cost him like almost $2 million. And he just did this campaign, particularly before the DJ Mag top 100 in the world rating. So he did that particularly before he was boosting his followers before the DJ Mag rating. And this is Avicii. You can imagine, like he was one of the most popular, I don't know, DJs, and his tracks were viral. Still, he had only 135, and he boosted the rest up to 70 million in just 1 month. So it was all bought. And so when I'm analyzing influencers, there are some programs actually like Dune and others which can help you to track like the bot followers, like or dead followers from active followers. And you can use those kind of programs. And also you can.
Sorry, what program?
Dune.
Dune?
Yeah, Dune, like the movie. But there are some other, there are some other, everyone in the meeting. And also what I'm using also, when I'm analyzing the influencer, I'm watching the engagement, because views can be bought, followers can be bought, comments can be bought, like easily. I bought them, I know. So, and even controversial and negative comments can be bought. So what I'm looking, if it's like a YouTube influencer, I'm looking, let's say, if he has the comments and if he has many likes on some comments, there are some top comments sometimes, and they have up to 30 50, 100 likes on the top comment. So that's for me, because that is not as easy to buy. And that's for me the indicator that there is a real engagement and there is a real audience here. Yeah. Another example, but this is like a nice example. That was the promotional campaign for Guru. And in this case, Facebook ads were very efficient because I spent, I got like over 1 million, up to 1 million reach. And here's paid and here's organic. Let's say 150,000 likes and up to 1,000 comments. And guess what? Only 300 people subscribed to Yoga and Daily Life page. Real subscribers, I mean. Only 300 people after one, like from 1 million reach. So let's say 150,000 people put likes, but only 300 of them really followed the page. So these are kind of real numbers. And actually I spent on that campaign something like 60 euro. It was just a nice targeting. It was a good picture, a good philosophical message. And the guru is a very charismatic personality. So people like him, they just put the likes. So really people are not following actively. Long ago, they stopped following actively like long ago. And if you analyze your own behavior, how often do you follow the pages? And even if you followed, how often do you review those pages, unless Facebook or Instagram shows that in your timeline? So you would understand why. So that's why I talk that about social media, there are so many stereotypes which are not quite working good. And it's again the difference between two social media. It's a case about the music track, and let's say the same singer. She had only up to 300 followers on SoundCloud, but the same singer had it's organic, it's all organic, and the same singer had up to 90,000 of followers on Shazam. So it's again because SoundCloud was in decline as a music social media, and Shazam was kind of pretty active. And yeah, and another example is with the track of those guys. They had only the same track. They had only 300 plays on SoundCloud, and they had up to 1 million of organic plays on Spotify. So it depends, like which social media you use. If the social media is newer, like TikTok, when TikTok appeared, was very efficient in terms of organic reach. But as soon as many brands started to come there, as more people are joining, the less organic reach then. And right now, TikTok is, I think it's there are some things that are easier to make in TikTok than in other social media networks, but it's again, if your target audience is on TikTok, not for all businesses, target audience is on TikTok. I will just gonna put the computer on charger for charging right now. 1 minute. And I would like to tell more about PR a little bit. Right. So first of all, what do you think about PR? What's the difference between PR and marketing again? What's public relations?
It's how surrounding see us. It's what we are communicating with different media activities, what we translate, tone of our voice. It's work with opinion different. It's work with leader of mine, not in social media, more on sphere as like in Forbes or different media where some people tell about your brand, tell about your product or your story. It's everything about how another company people see us and what we translate for them.
But I think in plain words, actually, in most cases, people understand like on the PR and media relations, yeah, relations with media and press. But the main difference is that what's the difference between PR and direct advertising is that PR is using third party always. So it's like some media tells about this startup, this expert tells about this startup. Let's say awards is also a part of recognition. So when you get an award, that means the third party, the neutral third party evaluated you. So it's in plain words, when you advertise or self-promote yourself, you say like, I'm good, like this is advertising. And she is good, this is PR. When Elena says like, she is good, this is PR. When I tell like, I'm super awesome specialist or expert, this is advertising. So PR has a bit wider meaning. It's not only in your relations with media, with press, it's in general how you work with your reputation. It's a complex of methods, or complex of effort. It's how to build and manage your reputation in general. And let's say the next slide. So again, like advertising, we are a great company, and PR, they are a great company. So what do we need? Why do we need PR like as a tool? Yeah, what does it bring? So first of all, it brings capitalization. Capitalization, that means the more you invest in PR and your reputation, everybody says like you're a great company, the more costly your services are. So you kind of can, what's the difference between, let's say, and there are different psychologists, but there are like top psychologists who are highlighted by TV, and so on, who work with politicians and so on and so forth. So, and they have another fees for an hour of psychological help, let's say. So, and the difference is that they invested much more into the brand and building their personal brand. So that's why they charge more right now. And the same is with doctors and so on and so forth. The more you invest in PR, so that's kind of understandable that your price and your value also rises. What else PR brings? Also the sales. It can bring directly the sales. So you made an article somewhere as an expert about future trends in AI. And just mentioning that you're an expert and you're a founder of this company, yeah? And then people can kind of try to reach you. It's like, hey, I kind of liked your overview, review, and you're doing some interesting stuff. Let's communicate, yeah? And so what else PR brings? It brings also the loyalty. It's retention of clients and partners as well. So when you're all the time like kind of building relations with existing customers in the way that you're directing your reputation and your positive feedback of the company in a certain way, yeah, that you care, that you remember when their birthdays are, that you're kind of giving them some special discounts or perks, that they are inviting them as experts to your whatever webinars, that they are making networking events for them. So that all brings them this kind of value and respect towards the company. Yeah. So as I mentioned, so we can, I divided here the PR tools into new business, like creating sales and contracts, and capitalization, creating additional value. So for new business, you can kind of use PR, event PR, corporate PR. So it's like social responsibility, corporate social responsibility. This is mostly for big companies when they're trying to allocate funds for educating people, for making the clean environment and so on and so forth. So media relations with the press, it's more for capitalization. It brings you additional value because like this startup was highlighted by Forbes, or the founder of this startup is in top 30 Forbes. This is kind of brings additional value to the company. Yeah. And there are also internal communications, which are internal communications. This is the part of the PR, but when you are building your reputation in front of your employees, in front of your team, which is not the least important than building your reputation in front of the clients. Like how you look as a founder, how you look as a company in front of your team. This is also part of PR, and this is very important because your team also communicate about the company.
Marina, we don't hear you and don't see you. Some problem with connection. Yelena, maybe you can continue.
So there seems to be only the connection problem between Marina and the rest of us.
I-
Yes, but I suppose we have to wait a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, maybe we can share with own experience for marketing or something else that can help each other to grow up our business. What do you think about it?
Maybe, but for example, from our side, marketing is too early because we are in early stage. So we only gather information rather than do active marketing. So I will listen on your experience.
What's the company you introduction? What's the product do you do?
Okay, it's me. Change the room because my colleagues are here. We are Egolem. Our product is called Egolem, and it is a simulator of human medicine, human physiology, and it is based on our previous research on modeling and technology development. And we are now doing a pilot at Charles University in Prague. So, and we focus to sell our product later. So we will validate the product and the features. We would like to sell it to simulation centers or universities. It's B2B or also as well B2C, so students of medicine or medical doctors who are preparing for some accreditation or certification after they finish the basic education or basic university education. Yeah, so it's
and
our
what exactly solve your solution? Which problem solve or which directed help? It helped to make a rehabilitation program, or it helped to understand more of body. I don't know what exactly.
Our technology solves to mathematically express the complex scientific complexity of current knowledge. And we have a complex model of human physiology on different stages. For example, cardiovascular system, either the pulsatile one or the for hemodynamics, or non-pulsatile, which is better for simulating the trends and seeing the Frank-Starling law and so on. So we solve this problem, this technological problem, and we solve also the problem how to put such a complex model, how to translate it to and execute it on any device. So we can execute it on computer, we can execute it on in browsers, also in mobile phones or tablets, and we also have a demo in virtual or augmented reality devices. We don't need cloud computing or other some computing stuff. So this is our solution, and we now focus to deliver simulation and to get into the revolution, which is already in process in medical education. So they change the curricula and not to involve more it is called the problem-based learning and team-based learning with simulator of virtual patient, where they can, for example, set some parameters and the patient in some state, and then they can train some treatment. I can see what's going on with the patient. So it is the brief introduction of what we are.
Can, for example, we produce a platform for a kill standard, and the next iteration we want to do with electronic solution. Can we, for example, use your program to to make a better process of rehabilitation, to see, to demonstrate how the body works, yeah, when we do some exercises. Can it use in this way or not?
I think yes. We should probably look deeper into the scientific problem, how it is probably expressed in terms of mathematical equations, and whether there could be done some, they call it a digital twin for the patient state, or whether some sensors can detect I don't know, some parameters which can be then computed and simulated with the model. So generally, yes, I remember such problems we solved from the scientific point of view. But if it is market ready, we don't know, and this is probably the very good idea to do some first.
You can, for example, cooperate with different companies as like us, yeah, and for developing the program of rehabilitation or recovering, or for example, to demonstrate for specialized or for patient how our body works in using some device.
Yeah. For example, in this case, I don't know, but if some companies focusing on diabetes, we have the model of glucose insulin regulation. And so we can compute some of the trends, parameters, predictions based on some data from some sensors. And this model is some like 10, 20 algebraic differential equations we can deliver to some interested party.
Yeah, interesting.
I suppose
Yeah.
Marina is
Yeah,
already
hi
with
guys.
us.
I'm with
Hello.
you, but I have a trouble with my computer. It just something happened with the battery. It's switched off. I put it on charge and it's not switching on at the moment. So I'm sorry for that. We can kind of schedule some other half an hour, 40 minutes, or we can also have some questions and answers right now.
I want to ask you about Reddit. Do you work with this social media? And if you work, how you recommend to work with them? What content is the most relevant of this?
Mm-hmm.
What impact we can achieve with this media?
Yeah. Particularly with Reddit, I didn't have much experience. I was just, when I was analyzing the competitors, some of them, I don't remember which businesses that were, but they used Reddit, and I know there are a lot of such activity, like they have the questions and answers, like all this, how it is called, like when they do it in crypto also as well. They have some kind of topics. They create the theme, they create the topic, and they make a discussion out of that. So that's what I got with what is popular in Reddit, at least. And the rest, I didn't have not a single campaign in Reddit, so I cannot advise you on Reddit particularly.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm just very curious that your, let's say, you said your competitors are on Reddit.
Yeah,
only you have like medical devices.
Not as like medical, they use, we have two, if we talk about, okay, two direct, the medical, and we can use it for office workers, yeah, and the same, not the same, but this another platform for office workers, for IT specialized, and they have all traffic and all sellers only for Reddit. For IT, their their customers, most of their customers, is IT specialized.
Okay, I got it. So it's mostly for IT guys then, yeah?
Yeah. And I really surprised because we don't use Reddit, and I don't meet the information about Reddit in different social media and different marketing, I don't know, specialized whom I read before, yeah. And when I met, and I don't understand clearly how I should to build our advertisement company there and our activities there.
Yeah, it's the same I faced when I was working in crypto. They have, it's just right now I cannot recollect the name of some special platform they use. Also, they build a community there. They have those sessions like kind of events, also subscribers, and it just flipped out of my mind at the moment. And the same is with Reddit. Reddit is also popular in crypto. But after that platform, which I forgot, so much after, but crypto people also use it, the same as IT people, I guess. So it's mostly for, what I think how it works more like a PR tool, like having the sessions, having conversations, inviting the experts, inviting speakers, questions and answers. Whatever, something like this. And I know that it's also good for CEO optimization. When you have some information about the company on Reddit, it's also good it's highly ranked by Google. The same as Wikipedia as well. It's also highly ranked for Google.
And what do you think about LinkedIn? Because now I'm just confused, because we create a commercial proposal. We made a lead generation of this month, and we sent maybe about 400 ads to friends, and maybe about 100 proposals, but really zero conversion, zero
conversion.
Yeah, and I understand.
Yeah, and if you hear attentively what Ruslana told, yeah, she was describing in a pretty good way how she approached LinkedIn, like how she approached people, and it's like a quest to find out sometimes in big companies who is responsible for who, for what, and who is the decision maker. So my personal experience, I organized a lot of events where startups were pitching in front of investors. So we reached the VC funds and juries, and in such a way, inviting them to join the jury expert board, or to invite them to attend the meeting, and so on and so forth. So I think that in general, we had up to 10% of conversion into communication. And then you at least communicate and agree or don't agree upon something. So I think 5-10% in some cases. So you need to send, let's say, 100. I normally use not emails, I normally use connections, because emails come as an advertising, but connection, you can also put a short message into that. Like at some point when I, particularly for my goals, when I was measuring the efficiency of email and connection, in my case, connection worked better. So then I started to approach all those people with connections. And also sometimes they are too overflooded by people. So be sure that you also send the connection, or maybe send the email, and also wrote, you should write under their post, some of their latest posts. It's like, hey, nice thoughts or whatever. I've just sent you a connection to talk about this matter, or to talk about partnerships.
Way with the first message, the second message, the third message, we develop this.
And sometimes they reach somebody who might know them if you have common friends, and ask for the intro. That could work as well.
Because for me, it's quite the first I work with worldwide. Before that, we cooperate only in Ukrainian market, and I think that the conversion, it will be higher than we really get. And now I understand that, unfortunately, and it's the same as like cold email. I could find more of 300 our potential distributors. We check everyone.
Oh,
But
it's difficult with distributors. I know. I was just doing the same for an e-commerce startup, and to reach distributors in a cold way, that's a trick. Yeah, and especially in the US here, it's all based on reputation, and it's more easy to approach them by through from just a sales manager. But there are also some difficulties with hiring a sales manager here. So you need to pay the HR, you need to have at least 1-2 months of the retainer plus success fee, like for instance. So in such a way, I would say dealers and distributors are really, we had an experience during the CES show. We were attending CES show in Las Vegas this January 2023. And we had a lot of, we thought that we would meet more investors there, but in fact, we met a lot of dealers and distributors the world over: Brazil, Canada, Japan, Middle East, wherever. So and they were approaching us on our stand at our booth, like by themselves, so just passing by, because we were in the rush. We didn't do the preparation for the show properly, like contacting everybody in advance and like reserving the meeting room. We were just in the rush. We got the last moment train with the last minute ticket, and so but still, even we didn't have the best location for the booth, a lot of dealers and distributors were just passing us, and they were leaving the contacts, and from those contacts we got like 5 6 conversions into some, let's say, deal flow, including also PR agency I found like really nice in California, based in California. And one dealer we're going to work right now, one was the advisory, and another one in Japan. Let's say they're right now, they're slow. The whole communication process is really slow. It's like you're doing the follow-up emails, and then you cannot send the third follow-up email on the previous follow-up email. So what I'm doing in this case, I'm taking a pause, and then I'm trying to approach them with a new information location. Like for instance, oh, by the way, we launched a new model. Oh, by the way, we got the recognition, we were awarded by blah, blah, blah. Oh, here's the recent article about us in Forbes. Or like, here's our new video, super trailer video about our product. So right now I'm waiting for a super video highlighting the product, and they're gonna reach the distributor again. But this is really kind of, when you're doing this in a cold way, this is really tough. So shows and exhibitions help, and of course sales managers with warm contacts already help. Yeah.
Took part on exhibition worldwide in Germany, and it's my new opinion too. And I really confused after that, because on exhibition every body come to us and look at our product and say, really, you make it in Ukraine, you cool, you really cool. And people tell that from France, from really 20 countries, they introduce by themselves that they are CEO or co-founder or founder, and we agree with them about cooperation. In exhibition, we agree with them. And when after exhibition, I called them, they tell, oh, of course, I remember you. Yeah, you start production in Poland. When you start selling it, after that, we continue our dialogue. What the fuck, really? I ask you, tell that you are ready to start. You are really satisfied with our product. You are want to cooperate with us, and now you tell. And when I speak with different company who works with United States, who works with European country, they tell that if you take part for 2-3 exhibition, and after that you are really these customers can cooperate with you, because they don't want to spend their time to develop new company. Yeah, they want that you make some advertisement, marketing, and market know you, and after that they are ready to start cooperate with you. And that, no, it's really a hard way.
Yeah, I think it could be both ways, and it depends also on the business. And I heard the same about CES because I talked to some guys and they told, oh yeah, at CES everybody is looking for partnership and they're ready to rock, ready to go. But in fact, it's like what happens after, like. I mean, everything until you sign the contract is just blah 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 so far.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And especially British Americans, they consider that it's not polite to say no, it's not polite to express whatever, something you don't want to hear. So in this sense, they let's say justify their lying in business in some way. They think this is like polite or what. And then you just waste time knocking on the doors, which are just closed. Yeah. So, but anyway, as salesperson, a nice one with warm contacts like this would be a great help, like a great acceleration and great help. It just or sales partners, it's kind of, it should work when you really succeed to find the right person.
Yeah.
I mean, if the product is really good, but if not, like for instance, sometimes people don't say particularly why they are not much interested, yeah. But unless you give them some perk and ask for the feedback. So, and just in case you're absolutely sure that your product just rocks, and then with the right salesperson, everything is going to boost. But there are some situations when product maybe not much needed, not much into the demand. So it depends. Some innovations on the pilot phase sometimes are not quite understandable for corporations unless they try it. So it depends. I also wanted to, it's like in my lecture, we had a part after the PR about the marketing strategy, about how to choose the constructors, and about how to communicate with investors. And I'm kind of sad about this coincidence with the laptop. And I think maybe during the next lecture, or we might have a new opportunity to at least finish and have at least half an hour. So that I would like to go through the slides and finalize some important things, because investors and partners, they ask sometimes about marketing strategy. I mean, not sometimes, normally they ask like, what's your marketing strategy? Yeah, how are you going to boost? Like, why are you better? What's your USP? Yeah, and stuff like this. And at least you should have it. You should sometimes show like, here, I have it, this is the file. We know where, this is the budget, this is the action plan. We know where we're moving. And here is the financial projection according to our business plan, including marketing. Yeah. Oh, hi.
my my young business partner.
Oh, I thought this is your first or second startup as well, yeah?
Thank you so much for whole information. It's really suitable for us, because sometimes when you don't hear about another experience, you think that you can do for something wrong because you don't satisfy the results. And when you heard about another experience, it helped you to understand that it is okay, it is the market way.
Yeah, so ideally, it's actually when you have the product and you have the clients already, let's say the corporation in your case, or like a couple of, in your case, probably it's ideal to have a network of private medical institutions. So if you have at least one client like this, you already can show the revenue, like a good revenue stream. And that's the initial start. So normally, like from one side you have the product, from another side you have somebody in the team, or co-founder or salesperson who has this high chances of securing that deal. Like investors look at the advisory board. Sometimes you hire people with names to the advisory board, and they look like, okay, this guy has the influence over that company. So that means this like a high probability about that content. But not always. But that works at least for investors as well.
Okay, thank you so
And
much.
anybody else would like to ask any question? We still have some time. If not, let me talk with Elena, but we're gonna have maybe half an hour, like 40 minutes, which we a bit lost today. And I will continue with the lecture, and especially with the communication with investors part, because the topic was marketing and communication and messaging. Yeah. So I think it's really interesting for everybody how to approach investors in the right way, and which kind of investors and how and so on. Okay, thank you everybody. Sorry for this thing with the laptop. And luckily it should work. At least it shows it was not even switching on for like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. So I thought it's broken, but still there's hope. It's just the battery. Okay, thanks so much. And have a wonderful rest of the day.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you too. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.